This is the map that may decide the war with Iran. And surely this is the map that everyone at the White House is looking right now. It's oil, gas, and the Middle East. Let me walk you through why all of these matter. First, a bit of the labels. Here we have Iran, Qatar, the UAE, Kuwait is here, Iraq, and of course, Saudi Arabia, and the most important bit in this map, the Strait of Hormuz, which is here, in this area. This is the area that Iran controls, and this is the bottleneck that is keeping all this oil from this area. The oil fields are the bits in green, and the red bits are gas fields. All of the gas, all of the oil needs to get into the Persian Gulf, go through the Strait of Hormuz to get into the high seas, into the global markets. Right now, that's not happening because the oil tankers, the gas tankers cannot get through the Strait of Hormuz because Iran is threatening to attack them. So what is happening is a number of tankers were inside the Persian Gulf. They have been used, they have been loaded. Everything that was free has been used now, and with not outlet for their production, some of the countries in the region, particularly Kuwait and Iraq, had to cut production. And that is really one of the reasons the prices have gone up so much, both in oil and also in the gas market. There are some workarounds, they are limited, but the Saudis in particular thought that this situation was likely to happen, and they have spent the last 45 years preparing for it. Welcome to the East to West pipeline in Saudi Arabia, a conduit that goes from the oil fields of Saudi Arabia in this region, in the Persian Gulf, across the desert, through Riyadh, and all the way to the west coast, to the Red Sea. There, Iran doesn't have access, and the Saudis can load their oil in this area. But obviously, to do that is a massive logistical enterprise. You need to move all the oil tankers that were waiting to cross the Strait of Hormuz. You need to move them all around the Arabian Peninsula into the Red Sea. That is happening right now. You see on my screen, all of those blue dots are oil tankers that are coming from this area, going through. It almost looks like a highway on rush hour, and going up to this point in the Red Sea. That's Jambu. That's what that pipeline crosses, and that's what the Saudis can now sell oil into the international market, bypassing the Strait of Hormuz. There is another pipeline that goes from near Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates across the country into Fujairah. That's very close to the Strait of Hormuz, but it's outside. It's on the right side of the Strait of Hormuz, and that is just giving some relief to the market. That's about 1.5 million barrels a day for the UAE. The Saudi pipeline is about 5 million barrels a day. Together, 6.5 million barrels a day. That compares to 20 million barrels a day on a normal day from the Strait of Hormuz. So there are bypasses, there are workarounds, but they don't cover completely the Strait of Hormuz. The Iranians, meanwhile, and this is the amazing story, the Iranians are still loading oil in the Persian Gulf. That's happening from an island here in the Persian Gulf called Kar Island. And how we know that they are loading oil? Because every day we are getting a picture of that island. That's a magnifying view of the island. And if I bring it even closer with my zoom, you could see a couple of tankers, one tanker there, another oil tanker there. Those are loading as we speak oil in Kar Island. And obviously Iran is not going to attack his own tankers, so the tankers go out. And Iran today, 2 weeks into the war, is producing and exporting more or less as much oil as it did before it was attacked. What all of this means for the oil market: oil prices are going to continue to increase because we are losing a lot of production. The pipelines provide some bypass, some relief, but they are a brake. They are not going to stop completely the oil market from going higher, but they provide some extra time. The market doesn't go up as much as it will do otherwise, but ultimately President Trump's only solution to bring oil prices down is to reopen the Strait of Hormuz.